Hello everyone, welcome to my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel, and today we're going to spray some finish. So hang in there and we'll be right back. Well, it's time to start working on the bathroom vanity again. My goal is for this week to get the case work installed in the bathroom. That way we can pick up our counter from the granite place in Saskatoon and kind of close the books on that so I don't have suppliers waiting for us. So I did this in oak, and oak is one of those woods that unless you fill the grain, okay, where people mix this up is they think that they're filling nail holes. That's wood filler. Well, really this is a pore filler. And I've been putting it on here, and pore filler is the scariest thing to use that you can ever imagine. So this is mixed up. I'm hoping I get this in the right place so you can see it. And it realistically looks like drywall mud. In fact, I've heard rumor, I'm not sure how true it is, that some people have in fact used drywall mud. So what you do is you just put it on, and it, boy oh boy, I remember finishing my guitar, my first little Strat that I built, and I remember just being scared spitless, because here I was. In fact, what I did is I put the dye on first. So I had this beautiful blue aniline dye on. My guitar looked nice, but it was ash, so it was ripply. And I knew enough that I couldn't fill that just by continually spraying it. So I got online and I got this grain filler. In fact, I'll show you the container in a minute. And it goes on white like this, and I'm horrified because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I just messed up my guitar. But when you put a clear finish on it, you can't see it. So it's amazing. So anyway, I'm just going to get this spread on quickly. And then, believe it or not, you let it dry. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll lightly sand this when it's dry, and I can maybe give another coat if I want to, but I'll spray my finish over here and it'll turn clear. So what I'm using, what you just saw mixed up, is this. This is from Lee Valley. It's called Trade Secret, powdered wood and grain filler. Okay. Here, I'll let you see that again. I tend to move things a bit too quickly here. Okay. Now, between 20 and 25 years ago, when I finished my first electric guitar, I bought this Crystalac product, and I'm pretty sure I bought it from Stuart McDonald's, which is kind of funny. I just realized this trade secret stuff. Well, that's a phrase that Stuart McDonald's uses a lot. So who knows? They sure look the same. Like this is, I didn't use this because it's old. And it's, I think, too thin. I don't know if you can see it, but it's, I should have thrown this out. And the only reason I didn't is because I wasn't aware I still had it. So as I'm starting to organize my shop, I'm finding all these hidden gems. But I'm going to let this dry now, and I'm going to bring you back when I'm ready to start sanding. Okay, so we'll be back. And we're back. It's later in the evening. I put the filler on, I showed you that. And I let it dry. Now I'm just sanding off the excess, and you can tell I've been at it for a little while. The front is already done, earlier on, and I'm a little bit scared to do it now because I don't want to put a different finish on before I put the real finish on, but I took a little bit of wipe on poly that I have here. I use lots for kids projects, and one of the areas that was as white as this, I put it on, and the grain just pulls through, like the white disappears. So what I'm doing now is, and I don't think you'll be able to see it on the video, but the grain lines have white in them, but when I put the filler or put the finish on, that will go away. So I'm not going to bore you a whole lot, but basically sanding is like this. By the looks of this, I put it on a little bit too heavy. In hindsight, well, I didn't really have a good scraper, and I don't know, but that sanding with the grain, and my goal will be to get this a consistent color. So I don't think you need to watch me do the whole thing. Sanding's pretty easy. It's just like up and down, not complicated. I'm using 180 grit paper. Often, I don't know, was it Michael Dresner? I remember reading an article of his saying basically 180 for most furniture was fine. And in school I really took that to heart because we didn't have time to go through all these different stages. We didn't have the money either. So I bought 100 and 180 grit paper, and we sanded everything to 180 and then put finish on it. So, except guitars, of course. So there obviously would be exceptions, but I'm going to sand this to 180 and then we'll see. I have a feeling I'll end up spraying it then. Okay, so I will bring you back when I have this in the spray booth. Well, we're back to spraying some, here, I'll get the can for you. I think I've shown it before. This is what I'm spraying, and I'm sure this was never designed to be sprayed. I'm not sure. But it has been a small challenge to get the result I want, but I think I'm getting there. I guess when you start spraying something like this, first of all, this is not the way you should be doing it. My spray booth here, I've got a Princess Auto pop-up at, yeah, well, it kind of works. It keeps the overspray from going all over the place. I have everything set in here so nothing will turn on. I don't think this urethane is maybe quite as volatile as some of the lacquers and things like that, but yeah, this isn't the way you really should spray anything, so I don't recommend this, but it's the way I have to do it, and that's what's going to happen. The other thing when you're getting ready to spray is make sure that your gun is, first of all, nice and clean, and that you know what the adjustments all do. So on this is DeVilbiss Finish Line FLG3. I bought this quite a few years ago when I was into my auto body phase, and I think at the time I paid about $100 for it. It was, considering I could have bought a gun at Princess Auto for $25, this was a more significant expenditure, and it hasn't been used much. But I cleaned it up really well before I started working with it, and reacquainted myself with the controls. And something that maybe you should be aware of when you start your own spray project is make sure you know for sure which controls your fan. And on the DeVilbiss, on this DeVilbiss, it's this one here is the fan, and this controls the amount of product. So this is your needle. But and this, I'm not even sure what it does. It doesn't do anything important when I spray. So, and different guns have different controls. But basically, I already sprayed one coat on all of this. And I use the back and the bottom to do all my settings and testing. So that way I can put my finish in. And it's important I think it's important when you're setting up your spray gun that you make sure that you're spraying what you're going to be spraying at the consistency you're going to be spraying it. This stuff, I didn't reduce it a whole lot. I don't think I'm even at 10%. I put about a thimble full, well, one of these little things into about 400 milliliters. So we're not really reducing a whole lot. It just makes me feel better. I think that's all, because this stuff is pretty fluid. So what I did already is I sprayed the back and the bottom, and now I need to spray the inside and the one gable end you're going to see, and then the faces. The filler that I put in, it seems to have worked fairly well. I am getting buildup on the pieces, so you can't see those. When you get up close, you can see that they're grain that didn't fill, and I don't notice any of that here. Mind you, I don't have my glasses on right now because I can't wear my glasses and my respirator at the same time. So anyway, we'll put on the respirator and we'll get some spraying done. Well, we're spraying the front part. I've done inside this cavity already, and I've done the other side, this wall. I'm going to spray this side and the floor for you now, and then we're going to swing around to the outside and we're going to spray the oak, and that's going to finish the second coat. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to break all the rules I just talked about and put on my mask and grab my gun, and we're going to finish the second coat. Okay. Well, it is a little hazy in here right now. I was going to tell you that the air compressor would probably come on, so luckily I wasn't expounding words of wisdom, and it didn't really affect anything. So yeah, this finishes the second coat. I'm particularly happy with the way the parts that I'm going to see are finishing, and that's what's important. With a piece of furniture, you move it around, you flip it maybe sometime, you see everything. A guitar is especially fussy because it's all close up all the time. But this, inside, not so much. Outside, yeah, we're gonna see it. Excuse me. But the toilet's gonna sit here. Chances are this you won't really get a good view of. Down here you won't. It'll kind of be this side here, this little area. But I would always encourage you, can I get in the camera here? Always try to do your best. And there's so many things lacking in my spray finishing. I need to do it more. And one of the problems with spray finishing is where to do it. And I don't have a good place to do it. So I might have to build something, make something. Would be nice if it was a separate building. That would be great, because it's dirty in here. There's sawdust, there's everything. But we do what we do, and I think it'll be good. I'm happier with spraying this, because with spraying it, I can get in everywhere. And oh, I thought that was a drip. It's not. Whereas if I would do it with a brush, it's getting in everywhere and all that stuff. Now you'll notice that I masked the back panel. I just couldn't get it out. It was designed to come out so I could spray and not get spray or blowback blasted in my face when I sprayed. But I couldn't get it out, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to damage everything trying to get it out, so I left it. And I masked it. So that brings this part to an end. What I'll do is I'll come back and maybe take a shot or two when it's dry, and we can take a look at it then. Also, the goal is for this to go in the next day or so, probably tomorrow. I might put a third coat on all the stuff that you see. There's the one thing that we are fussy about is moisture. So this polyurethane is a floor finish. It's really not designed for this, but first of all, I had lots of it. Second of all, it was free. Third of all, it's tough, and that's what we want on here. We want a tough finish that wipes well. So, right, this is just the first part. So hopefully Friday, when we're in Saskatoon, we're gonna stop at Michelangelo's and pick up our beautiful countertop. I'm sure they'll have done a wonderful job. And I'm gonna install this and put the countertop on, and then I'll spray the drawers, make the drawer faces and doors. I still haven't come up with a good handle design, but we'll see what we can figure out. And now slowly in the bathroom, things are going to start going back in. So we will come back probably tomorrow and show you what we've done today. Well, there it is. It's done. So how do I feel about it? Pretty good. Things went really well once I got going. My spray booth is incredibly questionable. Shouldn't really have done it this way, but normally I would have sprayed it outside, but we did not have weather that we could have done that this last week when I needed this done. So I made a mess in here. Well, actually the mess is pretty good. I don't think I have that much overspray on everything. This tent, it kind of helps. So I think for doing the drawers and things like that, it'll be a lot better. So anyway, back to the finish. I'm quite happy with what I did here. All the areas of the cabinet have at least 2 coats. So the back, the underside, the gable that you'll never see, all has 2 coats. And I think that's going to serve this really well. And then all the oak on the front, the toe kick, this side here, and actually I needed to set the pattern on my gun, so I sprayed this again too. So this area here has 3 coats, and it feels really nice. I think the filler paid off. It's done its job. and the shine is nice, and like I say, I like it. I had some real questions about using that floor urethane, but maybe what it is a urethane or a polyurethane is a polyurethane. Just because it says floor doesn't really mean anything. I don't know, but it worked good on this. Now I did reduce it just a wee little bit. So I added, well, the first batch I did when I sprayed the first coat, I used lacquer thinner to reduce. But then after that, I ran out of lacquer thinner. So then we went to paint thinner. And it says on the can that you can use this. So I went with it. I don't usually like using paint thinner personally, but I come more from, my spray painting has been more on the automotive genre. So yeah, lacquer thinner used to be a staple there. But anyway, it's turned out nicely. Getting back to reducing a little bit, like I really didn't reduce a lot. And I think I'm really surprised, like my gun here, this is only a 1.3. Now I don't remember what DeVille this is a number 3 tip. And I don't remember what size that is. So I'm surprised it sprayed. It's quite fluid once I got everything stirred up. That can is about 2 years old. So, but it's been stored properly, and that's it. I think it's going to work out really nicely. So the next thing that I'm going to spray are going to be the drawers themselves, and I'm still thinking about a design for the pulls. Like I want something that I don't have to go out and buy hardware, not because we can't afford it, but I don't want something sticking out. I want it to be integrated into the wood panel, and I haven't come up with an idea that I'm really happy with yet. I've had 2 or 3 ideas, but not quite there yet. Maybe one other thing just to mention, if you're planning to use spray equipment to finish something, my first thing would be to have a better setup booth than I do. But the other thing that you want to do is you really want to make sure that your gun is clean. What I did, and the best thing I did, and I think it made the difference all the way through on this project, is I took my gun apart, like completely apart. In fact, I'd never had it apart that far before. There were no 2 pieces together when I was done. And I soaked it in lacquer thinner for a couple of days, and then I took a brush and I brushed all the parts really clean. And it sprays beautifully now. So to clean it now, I just flushed some paint thinner through it, and I'll probably do it again today yet. But every so often, I think I've learned my lesson. If I'm going to use this, I really, really need to make sure the gun is spotless. So yeah, it worked out. This is fun. The prep for spraying, the prep is terrible, but I love picking up the gun. I am not that good at it, I don't think, but I'm having fun, and maybe I'm just good enough to be dangerous, I don't know. But anyway, this is going to go into the house now. I might put the drawer slides back in, the half that goes in the cabinet, because it's much easier at this height. But we have countertop that we need to pick up, and I've already had it there probably 3 weeks to a month longer than it should have been. And I was always hesitant to bring it home because I didn't have a good place to store it, and I didn't want it damaged. So now what's going to happen is this thing is going to go in and be installed. And then we're just going to take the countertop and set it on here right away. Yeah, it's going to be a little miserable for, putting drawer faces on and stuff like that. But I think I can make that work. So this way we can pick up kind of the last piece that we've bought, paid for, and needs to be picked up. So that's, we're in Saskatoon tomorrow. The tiling is, well, we would be done, but here the sealer that we bought was kind of suspicious. It was in a strange container and, you know, no labeling on it, just some marker numbers, and we opened it a few days ago and it's junk. Like you can tell it's just past date. So we need to go, we're in the city tomorrow, so we'll pick up some more sealer. Once the sealer's on the tile, then I put the trim between the tile and the ceiling up. Now we're going to paint everything again. Painting the ceiling, and never ends. And it's coming. So I'm hoping maybe by the end of next week, our bathroom might be usable upstairs. So anyway, on that note, yeah, sure be nice if you'd like and subscribe. This content will soon start to change because the bathroom vanity will eventually be done. So I did mention that I would be doing what I normally do, and this is what I normally do. I would really like to have shown you some aspects of teaching, like my Tuesday class, which just ended this last Tuesday, which just a shout out to all the kids that came to that class. They were awesome. I had a ton of fun, and you know, who knows, maybe we'll do more in the future yet. But I don't show pictures or video of people that, you know, that I've got to run around, find permission and do all that. And a lot of people are uncomfortable with that. So, but we did have fun. We had some neat projects come out of that. So that was excellent. So yeah, so we're doing the bathroom now. Upcoming projects, probably going to work on my grandkids' clubhouse. It needs shingles. Like to get that done this year. We're going to make a place for lumber storage and bike storage and things like that. I'll show you that when I get there. And we're going to be working in the shop as well. Like bought a CBN wheel for my new bench grinder, so that might be something coming up quickly. Putting that together. There's stuff coming up, some turning, maybe eventually a little bit of guitar stuff, a little bit of resawing stuff, all kinds of stuff. Plus I'm going to work on my metal lathe eventually. I've got lots to do, and I'm hoping that you're interested in coming along and talking about it or sharing. I'll share that with you. The other thing that's going to come up, and the end of June is coming, I am almost to the point of being retired for exactly 1 year. So what I have planned already is towards the end of this month, 1 year video summary of my retirement. So stay tuned for that. If you're creeping up on those elderly years, hang in there, watch, and I hope you'll subscribe and follow. That'd be wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the weekend.